Are you okay?
I don't know.
Okay, did you call the police yet?
Yeah, I did.
I'm gonna call an advocate and you can tell us both at the same time, okay?
Hey, Sarah, your dad told me that you need help.
So, is there anything that I need to do, or?
Just focus on getting better.
With an advocate on your side, you're never alone.
Today's the day! And look who I just met.
Hey, Dad.
You deserve a worry-free recovery. You deserve an advocate.
This is The Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, it's Football Friday on The Monty Show. As always, this here program is presented by the best in the business, the Advocates at theadvocates.com. Folks, when you've been in an accident, it's probably one of the worst days of your life. A car accident, a bicycle accident, maybe you had a slip and fall at the grocery store. Hey, maybe you got hurt at work. Yeah, all of that, you need the Advocates because they give you clear, risk-free advice 24/7, 365, and it won't cost you a dime. You can chat with an injury attorney live online at the Advocates. The best part is you don't pay the Advocates unless and until they win your case. No consultations, no retainers, just clear, risk-free legal advice at theadvocates.com. Good Friday to you. I'm a short timer. I'm out this piece. A week from now, you guys, I will have played 3 unbelievable rounds of golf in Hawaii. And we do need to talk about how you like to vacation. We're going to do that in the non-sports stories of the day today. But we are going to talk about Coach Prime Deion Sanders. The guy just can't get out of the headlines. And it's not his fault. I think Deion Sanders, I've said this 100 times, and I know it's controversial, and I know that Deion as a figure is a guy that a lot of people like to hate. But can you anymore hate on Deion Sanders? Can you anymore question the methodology, the modality by which Deion Sanders has operated at a very high level at Colorado? I don't think you can question it anymore. It's Louis, we coming. I don't think you can question it anymore because it's worked wonders at Colorado. Remember what Colorado was before Deion Sanders got to Boulder. It wasn't, in fact, anything. It certainly was not a football program. It certainly was not an athletic department. It certainly was not a university where students actually, went to football games. No, it was not. When Deion got there, all of that changed. Games were sold out. Now, did they win games last year? No. Did they have that disaster at Oregon and pretty much the entire rest of the season? Yes. That seems like a distant memory. And what Deion Sanders has done at Colorado, Jake, I think is nothing short of miraculous.
Absolutely. And I think he deserves all the credit in the world. And I think all the people saying that he's somehow done it the wrong way, or, you don't like his style, or I love the narrative of he can't recruit, which has been proven wrong like a million times over now. Like, this guy's going about it the right way. And I think that, people just don't like that Deion's style is a little more out there, that naturally he's a little more, in your face with it, I guess. He's a little more flashy. He's a little more, new age, if you will. But I personally don't have a problem with it. I think that Deion's, personality and behavior and how he coaches his kids and, how he runs the program and the glasses and the hoodie and, just the whole thing. I don't have a problem with it. I think that we're so used to old white hair standing on the sidelines in his khakis that are 100 years old that I think it was just a shock to the system when Deion rolled up on the scene from Jackson State and, started to show his style. And everyone said, oh, well, you haven't won anything. Like, they're all talk. I'm Dan Lanning. They play for clicks. Well, it turns out they don't play for clicks. They're actually getting better. They're actually developing. They're actually working the system in the process. And so I just think that anybody hating on Deion Sanders, you're making it personal when it's just not personal. It's how he goes about doing business in the day-to-day. And I think it's a great point that Colorado was nothing before Deion Sanders. Colorado hadn't done anything in recent times. Certainly since I've been watching football, they haven't done anything. They've been an afterthought wherever they've been. So to me, I just think the job of bringing relevancy and credibility to the Colorado Buffaloes has done wonders for them.
I think obviously before Prime, BP before Prime, AP after Prime. Before Prime, I think BP, they were known for the Hail Mary. I can't do it. I think before Deion Sanders got there, I think Colorado was known for the Hail Mary.
Mm-hmm.
The Cordell Stewart, Westbrook, that's what you were known for. Now you are known for being a Nike university, Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, Heisman trophies, expectations of going to the college football playoff. And I know that Big 12 fans are traditionalists, but here's something else that I think you probably are not going to love. I think the Big 12 conference is desperate for Deion Sanders to stay at Colorado. I think Deion Sanders loves it at Colorado. But the question is, if the phone rings, how does Deion Sanders not pick up and have a conversation? If USC fires Lincoln Riley and they call Deion Sanders, are you telling me that Deion Sanders doesn't have a conversation? And we've talked about this on the show previously. I think there's only 2 or 3 gigs in this country that can pull Deion Sanders. Obviously, Florida State's one of them. And everybody says, well, Florida State hates Deion now because of Travis Hunter. You're out of your mind. If you think that Florida State wouldn't hire Deion Sanders today if they thought they could get him, I think you're crazy. If Steve Sarkisian ever left Texas, I think the first phone call they would make would be to Deion Sanders. And yes, I believe if USC fires Lincoln Riley, how do they not make the call to Deion Sanders? Because it is unquestionable to me that Deion Sanders is a home run hire for anyone, and that includes Colorado. And the thing that I would say is, if Deion Sanders leaves Colorado, it is absolutely devastating for the Big 12 conference. Because without Coach Prime, I have no idea how relevant this conference would be today. And my real opinion is, if Deion Sanders isn't in the Big 12, I feel very strongly that the Big 12 is irrelevant, especially when you look at Utah and the struggles of Oak State, and you look at the state of Texas not really competing at a high level in college football. Jake, I think it is absolutely critical that Deion Sanders stays at Colorado for the Big 12.
I mean, what's another big name in the Big 12? I mean, if you sit and look at the conference, who else is I guess Kyle Whittingham would be. I mean, Kyle Whittingham is certainly nationally recognized, but he's not the brand, in my opinion, that Deion is. And, I think that the shock value or the however you want to characterize it, that presence that Deion has with the media and just with the younger generation, like, it's just a different thing. It's not to say it's better than Whit, but I just think when you look at the Big 12, there's not another guy who's as gravitational. Yeah. There's not another guy that pulls that kind of attention. And I think after Texas left, like, the Big 12 has been sitting here trying to figure out who's next. And Deion's kind of stepped into that.
But I think when you look at the coaches in this league, Kyle Whittingham's a great example of this. Kyle Whittingham's 65 years old.
Yeah.
Kyle Whittingham isn't on Instagram yesterday introducing the diamond turf that he wore when he played for the Falcons and the Braves.
Begging people to tag Nike so that Nike will release it.
That's what Deion Sanders is. Kyle Whittingham, and I love Kyle. I have a universal respect for him. I think he's one of the best coaches in the country. Kyle Whittingham, in my opinion, doesn't have name or Q factor with 16-year-old kids the way that Deion Sanders does. And a lot of it is because Deion Sanders owns social media. He owns it. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, less on X now. But you look at Coach Prime across social media, he dominates. Not his kids' account, not Colorado's account. Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, his own account. He's got Deion Sanders Jr., who follows him around with a camera and shoots his reality series. Like, I think that is, if we learned anything from the election less than a month ago now, you have to own the social media space.
Yeah, I just think you have to embrace it. It has to be a thing. This is much like the portal. You have to embrace the new age concepts of how to go out and get recruits. I hope people understand it. We're not saying, hey, he owns social media in the sense that, oh, well, he just posts a lot. No, he owns social media in the sense that like with like what you were saying with Deion Jr. He's tasked Deion Jr. with having a camera and a crew not like a TV crew. You need to understand this. And I'm making this point because I don't think most people get this. You have Deion Jr. and a bunch of folks under him who follow the program around, follow Deion around, and are constantly just capturing the life of Deion Sanders.
Turning on
Like,
the intimacy that you get. And you probably think I'm being crazy. I'm telling you I'm not.
Think about what a recruit sees when he's about to explain this.
The intimacy that you got when he was having his toes amputated. And he literally, there's an episode of Coach Prime on Prime where Deion Sanders Jr. turns on Deion Sanders Sr.'s bedroom light and wakes up his dad to go to the hospital with a camera. And they're filming this. You're like inside of this guy's life.
Do you understand the willingness that it takes to do that?
It's unbelievable. And as people who do this for a living, and we have made behind the scenes content, it's tough to get people to do that.
People won't do it.
But it's his son. He's built an infrastructure that allows you to understand, hey, I'm like the episode where he goes to Nike. Do you think a 16-year-old kid thinks it's cool to go to Nike and design a retro shoe?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
And I think that when you're talking about flipping quarterback recruits like Deion did, and you're talking about flipping offensive linemen as recruits like Deion did, that stuff is critical. And I say all of this because who else in the Big 12 is doing that? Is Mike Gundy doing that? Is Kyle Whittingham doing that?
Oh, and it used to be that BYU was the leader in this space. That BYU,
Kalani does it,
but Kalani doesn't
to
do
a
it
lesser
level.
extent.
Yeah, like it's different at BYU. Like, we need to make sure you understand this. So at BYU, they have a staff that they have a whole video department and a whole thing,
and they dominate,
and they do a great job, phenomenal job. But the key difference between what Deion does and what BYU does is the way BYU's content feels. It feels like you have a social media team that's just kind of covering the program as a whole.
At the facility, at the stadium.
It's kind of all about
on the bus.
That. Yeah.
With Deion Sanders, it's a way of life. He films everything he does.
Yeah.
And it makes a huge difference. And so I say all of this because if you think that USC is not going to call Deion Sanders, you're crazy. And I'm going to play this bite from Deion, and you are going to hear him unequivocally say, "No, I'm not going anywhere." But do you believe?
Say that. What do you say to Buff Nation out there?
I'm good. I tell them all the time. I'm comfortable where I am.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how many times I can say it. I only speak one language. I can't say, I wish I spoke several different languages so they would understand more candidly, but I'm happy and content with where I am.
Well, what did you say the other day? I've got my kickstand.
I got my kickstand. See, you got to be old.
Well, I was going to say.
You got to be at least 40 and old.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
To understand what a kickstand is. A kickstand down means what? I'm parked, right? I'm good.
You're parked.
Now, I've seen reports where they talking about the kickstand means you can put it back up and drive off. Like, God.
I was watching.
I think he loves being at Colorado.
Yeah.
But at no time in there did he say, I'm staying. I am not leaving. I am here for good. Like, I think he said exactly what you have to say.
Yeah.
And he said it sitting in front of a banner with an Aflac logo on it because he makes commercials with Nick Saban. Why do you think Nick Saban's on the Pat McAfee show every week?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think Bill Belichick's on the Pat McAfee show every week? Because you have to be. I think Deion Sanders loves Colorado. I think Deion Sanders would like nothing more than to win a national championship and build a dominant program at Colorado.
Yeah, I don't think it's an issue with Colorado.
Not at all.
And
not.
I think that everybody likes to make it about, oh, well, you guys are saying he doesn't like Colorado. No, I'm not saying
No.
that at all. I'm not saying he doesn't like Colorado. What I'm saying is that, hey, and it's the old DJ Khaled reference. Hey, you're suffering from success. Hey, you're a huge brand in college football.
Yes.
You're doing all these amazing things. Like, it's bringing you a ton of notoriety. You're starting to see the product improve on the field. Like, you're suffering from success. So when the phone rings and Florida State's on the other end, or Texas, or whoever the hell you want to point to, I mean, he's going to take the call.
Absolutely.
Like, you're going to have the conversation.
And he should.
And he should. And it's not to say that it's guaranteed that he's leaving, but I just think if you're Rick George, you're the administration at Colorado, you got to be on the same page with the idea that, hey, like, we've got one of the best things going in college football right now, whether we win a national championship or not. This is one of the best stories in college football. And we have to be prepared for the fact that this could end at any time. And that's the unfortunate nature of coaching college football. It's so different in the NFL. In the NFL, you've got contracts and, dudes are going to, work those contracts out. And like, it's totally different. But in college football, a guy can leave when he wants to leave. And how many times have we had the Mike Elkos of the world say, I'm not going anywhere. I'm good here. I'm not going anywhere. And then not 6 weeks later, they're doing their introductory press conference at A&M. Like, we've seen this before. Yeah. So I'm not blaming Deion, but it is foolishness. It is you're putting your head in the sand if you think that this guy's not going to take the calls and have the conversation.
NFL or college football?
College football.
I don't see him. I agree. I don't think he's an NFL guy, because how much has this guy talked about? And again, I consume all of his content, and I can tell you repeatedly, he has said he is somebody whose job he believes that God has put him on earth to mentor young people to become young men. He believes that his job is to take kids and make them men, to help them make better decisions. He talks to them. A lot of people were pissed when Colorado put their social media handles on the back of their practice jerseys. Well, why did they do that? Their practices aren't on TV. Yeah, they are. Because when you go to Colorado, you sign a release and you're on Coach Prime's show and you're on his reality series. And why? Because they're building brands. They're making money. And it's what Deion has talked about repeatedly. And it's why he's able to get Julian Lewis, a 5-star quarterback, to commit to Colorado from USC. And if you're USC right now, and I think this is very interesting, that it doesn't matter where you're committed to. Honest to goodness, I don't think it matters if you're at Florida State, Georgia, Bama, USC.
We built this program on NIL.
He doesn't give a darn, as he says, because he's going to get the best recruits and he's going to get the best guys in the portal. So if you're SC, you just lost a 5-star quarterback to Deion Sanders, and you're already thinking about firing Lincoln Riley. Are you telling me you're not calling the devil? Because isn't Deion Sanders the devil at that point? I think he is. So if you're looking at whacking Mike Norvell, you're telling me your first phone call is not Deion Sanders, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. And if you're a program, I'm telling you this now. If you're a Oak State is a perfect example of this, because I have no idea how Mike Gundy must have nudes.
I'm a man,
right? Mike Gundy must have nudes. It's all I can think of. Not of himself. Like, it's not that he's. See what happened.
I don't know. I don't
Gundy,
know if.
I mean, the
I don't quite know how to answer that.
And when I bequeath myself of these thoughts, I don't think about Mike Gundy. I just want to clarify that I do not.
Well,
think
you don't
about
have
Mike
to because of his hair.
Because I can't go below the shoulder, the mullet.
Right.
My point was, I don't know what leverage he has over people in Stillwater. But if you're in Stillwater and you're not seriously thinking about firing Mike Gundy, you're out of your mind.
I don't really get it.
It is. And again, I go to this question right here. How important is Colorado football to the Big 12? I think it's critical right now.
Paramount.
I think that you need, if you're a Big 12 fan, and I understand if you're at Kansas, you want them to beat Deion Sanders. If you're a fan of this conference, you are rooting for Coach Prime every week for the rest of the year. Because without him, I don't know if somehow Arizona State gets in. I think it's a great story. It's not great for the conference.
No.
I think if BYU or Colorado does not get in, it's not good for the conference.
Man, I have my reservations about BYU.
And I've looked at that game 27 ways to Sunday, and we'll talk about it coming up in about 40 minutes. I can't find a way to pick BYU over Arizona State.
But Deion's importance to this conference is it can't be understated, and it's not because I mean, he's partially earned it. Part of it is he's earned it. But I think the other side of it is that, you know, and I know we talk about this all the time, and we don't have to go back down the carousel today, but like the whole concept of, hey, like there's not another program in the Big 12 that really is doing things right now. And it should have been Utah, but it wasn't. And it should have been Oak State, and it wasn't.
And it wasn't.
You know, it should have been Joey and Tech, but it wasn't.
Should have been K-State and Avery Johnson.
Should have been the great marathon runner Avery Johnson, but it's not. Like, it's just one of these deals where you look around the other conferences, and I agree the ACC is the worst conference in the country on the football field, that is. But the problem is that at least they have multiple college football playoff contenders. Like, I understand that you look at this graphic right here, like the Big 12 is light on this graphic, man. There's not, like, I understand that BYU and Colorado are right there, and hey, one of them's going to go, but is one really a good number? Like, is that really all we're trying to do in the Big 12? Like, that's my thing.
It's a great question. Is that good enough? And I'm telling you, it's not. And again, I'll say for the ACC, is it a good look? Is it a good look if you look at this graphic right here and SMU is your representative? If SMU wins the ACC championship game, Miami's not getting in. Is it good? And I'm sure that every flipping SMU fan is going to lose their mind, as you guys have been in the comment section all year long. But you ask yourself right now, if Miami beats Wake Forest and Syracuse, and I do not trust Cam Ward.
Big trust,
bruh. I do not big trust Cam Ward.
Right.
As far as I can throw him. Bruh. And I would assume that they do. And I would assume that a Clemson team that's only got the Citadel and South Carolina left on the schedule, I would assume Clemson would win out. And if it's Clemson and SMU in the conference championship game, Miami probably is getting in. And I would assume, let's play the same game. It's Virginia and Cal. There ain't a chance on God's green earth that Rhett Lashley and SMU are losing one of those two games.
Agreed.
We'll see what happens. But I look at the scenarios. If you're Miami, you do not want to get to the ACC championship game.
And I just think, look, I think that the ACC, we can do scenarios all day, right? I mean, we can look at, wins and who's this and that. But the reality of the situation is that it's best for the ACC if Miami wins the conference right now. And I'm not sure that that's going to happen. Honestly, I don't think you can definitively say that's going to happen.
I don't think you can either.
And the real problem is that looking at the top 25 and, this whole situation, like, I just don't think that there's a lot of confidence that the ACC and the Big 12 are somehow going to make a splash this year. And I'm just telling you, man, if you're a Big 12 football fan, and I don't care who your team is in this conference, like, this one team nonsense is just not good enough. I understand that the Big 12 is never going to have four teams.
But it's Clemson and the Citadel.
Yeah.
You guys understand, because Clemson doesn't play another conference game the rest of the season, they don't control their destiny.
Yeah.
And that loss to Louisville is absolutely stomping on your nuts right now.
Yes.
Because you have the Citadel in South Carolina, and you look at SMU. SMU beat Louisville. And you look at Miami, and Miami beat Louisville. So you need Miami or SMU to lose for Clemson to get in. And if one of those two teams loses, I got bad news for you. They're out. And that's why I said there's no real scenario for the ACC or, in my opinion, for the ACC or the Big 12 to get two in.
Yeah.
Not with this sitting right here, because if SMU at 13 loses before the championship game, you're out. If SMU gets to the championship games and loses, you're out. If Miami loses before the championship game, they're out.
Yeah.
If they lose in the championship game, they're probably out.
Yeah.
Because I also can't see Notre Dame losing. I don't think Bama's losing. Hey, just out of curiosity, this brings me back to, how about that Indiana game this weekend?
Bro.
Is the Indiana game of consequence at all this weekend? If Indiana loses to Ohio State, are they in or are they out? It depends on how they lose, in my opinion.
Agreed.
And I think that's why I said I think Colorado is critically important to the Big 12. I just don't see.
Gotta have it.
You gotta have it, because the ACC, if the ACC, and I don't even know, the losses would have to mount, but if the ACC gets 2 in, that's an embarrassment if you're the Big 12, because the ACC is just not a good conference.
Yeah.
Like we were arguing about Boise on the show yesterday. Look at the strength of schedule and make the argument. Show me that you look at Boise State, and this is, again, I know this graphic is going to tweak the nips of the Boise State
Monty,
fans.
You just hate Boise State. You
Monty, what did we ever do in the comments section yesterday? Monty, what did we ever do to you? Well, buddy, nothing.
Stick to the SEC, Morty.
But the point is, you have the 77th ranked schedule, and you're going to be one of the 4 best teams in the country because you're getting a bye. If they win out and win the Mountain West, they're probably getting a bye.
Right.
And I still maintain, if we're trying to find the 12 best teams, Boise State has no place getting a bye. Sorry, the AQs should go to the power conferences, because if BYU wins out, they are 24 spots ahead of you in strength of schedule. 24. And if you're SMU, and I keep trying to tell people this about SMU, you're 86th in strength of schedule. If SMU wins the ACC, it's very bad for that league.
Yeah.
It's very bad for that league.
And then we're going to sit here and wonder how the SEC and the Big Ten garner all the control.
And excuse me, I forgot to get it. I'll get it right now. Did anybody see what the beloved Greg Sankey tweeted yesterday? You tell me. Is this an accidental tweet? Well, didn't mean to hit send on that one, friends.
Now, before we show this,
Mm-hmm.
because I want to paint this picture for people again, because people don't seem to be putting these dots together.
No, people don't want to hear it.
Yeah. So we go back to, and we took a ton of heat on this here program when we played the Sankey, hey, it's not my job to.
I'm not lowering
people.
myself to you scumbags.
Yeah. So we have the Sankey podcast quote situation that happens
Here. Let's play the bite. Here is Greg Sankey talking about not lowering himself to your level.
I don't want to dumb down the Southeastern Conference to be part of some Super League notion with 70 teams that some people speculate would happen. They want to be us, and that's on them to figure it out, not on me to bring myself back to earth.
I love that.
So
Hundo P.
You have this quote. Then we've got the college football playoff system. The SEC's getting more. Everyone's all pissed off. Then we've got the Baylor panic button letter that gets sent out, and the SEC and Sankey and company don't even humor it. And then finally, Greg Sankey wants to do this and wants to talk about strength of schedule. And I got to say, I don't blame dude. I don't blame dude at all.
He
for
ain't
pointing
wrong.
this out. He's not wrong.
He said, here's your demon. The guy's
demon.
you. What a POS this guy is. Well, tell me he's wrong.
Garbage.
Tell me he's wrong. When he says, interesting to read analysis from others as they examine strength of schedule in college football, ... It does seem there is a trend to be identified. Trolling at its finest.
Dude.
Georgia, number 1 across the board.
Right.
Even with Carson Beck.
Right.
Bama, Tennessee, A&M, Ole Miss. Look at the numbers.
Yeah.
What conference are those guys? Those are all in the ACC, right? No, I meant the Big 12. The MEAC. They're all in
The Big Sky.
No. They're all in the Big East, who doesn't even play football.
Stay hard.
No, they're in the SEC.
Oh.
And again, The reality is, because Mike Smith, Mountain Mama, I don't know if Mike's here today. He never watches the show anymore because he hates me. Because I am famous for saying you don't have to like it. And you don't. But what's the reality? What is the reality, friends?
This graphic is the reality, bro.
What is, there it is.
What? Yeah, sorry, can you get your,
what is the reality here? The SEC plays itself. You played yourself. And your strength of schedule shows you played yourself because you have all the best teams. So you don't have to like it. Good. You don't have to like it. But the reality is that when you're Boise at 77 and your SMU at 86 and your Army at 133, if Notre Dame loses to Army, I won't be here Monday.
Pack this thing up. We're out of here.
Oh, wait, if they win Monday, if they beat Army, I won't be here either because I'll be in Hawaii and you won't.
This place is empty.
Couldn't help myself. My point is, if Notre Dame loses to Army, don't ever come in here and defend Marcus Freeman, and he can't count past 10.
If you ain't first, you're last.
That says 133 is the strength of schedule, bro. I said 133. And you look at the rest of this, and then you look at Ohio State, 28th. Texas, 38th. Penn State, 35. Indiana, 106. Oh, but Monty. No, but Monty. That's 106.
That's out of the window.
You Google Kurt Signetti. All he does is beat teams on a weak schedule.
Right.
Show me that you can beat Ohio State. Decimation up front. Ohio State's offensive line, Seth McLaughlin tore his Kobe muscle, and he's out for the year. They're decimated on the offensive line. 106. No excuses.
I
Kurt.
win. Google me.
You beat Ohio State. I won't be here Monday bowing down.
Don't worry. I'll have the best of, Kurt Signetti highlight package for Monday.
Here's my promise. If you beat Ohio State Saturday night, I'll Google you. How about that?
Dude, my dude over here is just going to tweet a picture of his Wikipedia page.
I've thought about it. I thought about it after they won last weekend of a Google, just a screenshot of me Googling Kirk Signetti.
Google me.
I thought it, but I thought there would be too much red assery there.
Don't worry. You ain't going to have to do that.
I don't think they're going to beat Ohio State at the shoe. And if you do, crown his ass.
More power to you, bro.
Right. That is, I mean.
Already crowned Kurt.
Yeah. And that's why you got to hit the like button right now on YouTube. Give us a like. Hey, if you're watching on Spotify, please come on over to YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Join our great community here. We have so many great commenters. Today alone, and the show's been rolling for 33 minutes. Today, hello. We have 1,000 views and over 400 comments already in 33 minutes. So, hey, I love it. Come on, if you're on Spotify, hello. Thank you to everybody watching the show on Spotify. If you're somebody who likes to rewatch the show, Spotify is a great platform for you. YouTube's a great platform. Both of them are in video form.
And Spotify lets you run it in the background.
Hello, yes, they do.
Which is huge.
Yes, they do. One other thing real quick, one other piece of business. A lot of you are asking me about the number of commercials that you're seeing on YouTube and Spotify. We don't have any control over that. That is all Spotify. That is all YouTube. We don't. On YouTube, I would encourage you to subscribe to Premium.
Yeah.
YouTube Premium, it is cheap, but it is well worth it. You'll never see another commercial.
Yeah, the deal is for the problem.
Here's the deal.
The problem is that with our show, and it's not a problem, it's a credit to you guys, frankly. You're doing a great job. The problem is that you guys watch for so long every time you watch. Like our average view duration is 27 minutes. So what you're telling YouTube is you like the show. And so what YouTube does in response to that is shows more ads. So unfortunately, if you want to streamline that experience, you're going to have to do YouTube Premium. And I know it's $10 a month. It's not ideal. I think it's $10 a month, but it's not ideal. But if it bothers you that much, unfortunately, that's the route you're going to have to go because we don't really have a way to dial that back. We don't have a way to say, hey, don't show as many ads. So You know, it's not like, oh, well, you guys just want all your money. Well, yeah, we do. But it's not really in our control like what YouTube does. So just saying.
Just saying. And I appreciate that you guys deal with a lot of commercials.
Yeah.
I watch the show. I don't, because I have a YouTube premium membership. So I don't do. I'm telling you, it's worth it. Hit the like button right now on the channel, please. It helps the channel grow. While we tell you about Prize Picks, Jameis Winston is a Pimp Mac Daddy because he balled out in the snow.
Yeah, you know, the great crotch grabber.
So Jameis Winston, let's recap. Jameis Winston stole crab at a Publix, allegedly, while at Florida State. Jameis Winston in an Uber allegedly grabbed a woman's,
kitty cat juices is not all over the place.
She was unhappy about that. And yeah, then he ignored play calls in New Orleans, so they cut him. And now last night, little Uncle Monty here said, I have a lot of respect for famous Jameis. And
his forces in the pregame.
So yeah, he was so excited. He is one of the best interviews, but he also is a really good pick on Prize Picks last night because I needed him for 217.5 yards. My guy came through with 219.
Can you do something for me?
That last completion saved this dude. And then Jerry Jeudy, I told you 47.5 yards. My guy doubled that almost for 85. I'd like to thank, oh my God. Did you guys see Anthony Edwards last night? So Rudy Gobert, who on this show, Monty, let's go Bear.
Yeah,
we know.
We know, dude. We know.
We know.
It's a shtick.
It's spar down, Sparky. Okay,
Yeah,
just
you know,
relax.
just chill, dude.
Or as you guys like to say in the comments section, listen, bud. I love that Bud is now back in the vernacular.
Y'all reading all this cap ass shit.
Of the keyboard gangsters.
All right.
Listen, bud. So Rudy Gobert last night posts up in the paint in the fourth quarter, I think with 5 minutes to go.
Yeah. Tie game.
Julius Randle at the top of the key. Extended right. Ant is in the far corner. Dante DiVincenzo is to the right, and Nikhil Alexander-Walker's in the corner. So let me get this right. You're Rudy Gobert. You're going to back a dude down in the paint. Julius Randle refuses to throw Rudy Gobert the basketball. So Rudy Gobert then turns around and pouts. And then Randall's like, come on, dude. You suck. Get out of the paint. And Rudy Gobert turns and waltzes out of the paint. Yeah, we're going to have to blow the whistle because that's a 3-second violation.
Nice job, Rudy.
Thanks, Gobert.
Yeah,
and
nice job.
And you killed Ant 1, 2, or 3 on a flex play last night. Took home $20. Appreciate that.
Yeah, did you all enjoy the snow game? Was that enjoyable?
I thought it was remarkable.
Yeah.
I thought it was remarkable. And Mrs. Monty and I are sitting on the couch. She made the most unbelievable chili last night.
Okay, here, let me help you out here.
And there were some wall shakers this morning in the shower. And I got to tell you, watching the highlights of that game while I was creating fertilizer this morning, I got to tell you that that game was fun to watch.
Yeah.
And if you're not happy for the fans in Cleveland, you're out your mind because those fans have suffered.
I love how Jameis after the game, we can't play it because it's NFL, but
yeah, NFL
but
Network.
Jameis goes, yeah, I'm standing out there and I just knew it was an NFL Films moment. I just had to come through. Like, come on, bro. You can't honestly tell me you're standing out there in your head thinking, oh, man, bro, all these throws I'm making are going to be on the NFL Films one day. Come on, Jameis. Come on.
Yeah, they're going to put me on NFL. They're not.
You're not that good, dude.
Not unless we got a perp walk from the Publix after you stole that crab, bud.
Yeah, if we're doing an NFL Films episode on how to steal crab legs, yeah, you're going to be first team all crab legs.
And that the one where he ran into the end zone there and his equipment fell off the top of his helmet. Did you guys see that? It's the battery pack for the speaker majiggy thing.
Yeah, the communication
popped
device
out the top of his helmet.
Yeah.
That saved him because of that terrible interception he threw. But the snow game was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I look at the comment section and comment dump. So did I really just see Rich Rodriguez to West Virginia? No. No, the answer is hell no. No.
Bro, that's traumatizing.
No.
Hell no.
Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code Monty. You deposit $5. They'll give you $50 more instantly. Prize Picks, America's favorite daily fantasy app. Tens of millions of users. The Monty Show.
Hey, Monty.
The funny thing is, Jake and I send screenshots back and forth to each other.
Okay. Dude.
During the night of not of nudes, right? Who are you? Can we talk about Adam Schefter real quick? I know I'm kind of hopping around. Read the graphic. I don't ever, even if there's a fire, ever want to hear this story. But now that I've heard it, I can never unhear it.
Weirdest place you've broken a story is what?
I can remember being in Denver one time, and I was how do I say this? I had just spent time with this woman for the first time.
Yeah. Okay.
And
sure.
And got a text that Dale Carter was being suspended. I think it was for 8 games for substance abuse. And so as I continue to lay there, confirm it, and got the job done, Kevin, in every which way.
I'm just staring straight at the camera, buddy.
Just got the job done,
dude,
in every which way,
bro.
Adam, I don't care, and I don't want to know.
It's really despicable.
Listen, Stubby, I don't need to know about your sex life. I don't want to. You could have made some. I was walking on the beach, meditating, contemplating life's existence, and then Dale Carter.
How about that?
Dale Carter got popped for coke, and I had to break the story. Broke my meditation, bro. It was really
Cocaine
tough.
is a hell of a drug.
It was really tough. I don't need to know about you repopulating the earth, Schefter.
Hey,
I'm not here for it.
That downstairs kitty cat is not yours to have. Okay.
No. I am traumatized. Have you ever thought again, Gundy nude or Schefter sex?
It's not Schefter anymore.
How about
Adam? It's Adam Schafter.
Yeah. How about the shaft? Adam in the shaft or Gundy?
You know who I am?
Or Gundy naked? I know. Bullet.
Oh,
Neither.
Dude.
Neither. Yes, Maury. Yes, Shefty. Way too much. Wow, bud. Wow. Yeah, I don't want to know.
Adam, ESPN insider, Schafter.
Bro. No. No. The answer is yes, I got the job done. A new soundbite for Jake in the Showgrum. Exactly right. For all the wrong reasons, Glenn. Hey, what'd you guys do last night? Hey, bud, I got the job done. Ask your mom. No, Schefter. No. Shefty was asked the question and he answered it. You're damn right he did. Yes, he did. Stay hard, Schefter.
Stay hard.
Yeah, exactly right. Eye bleach.
Dude.
Schefter with the hard take.
Yeah.
Stay hard.
Yeah. Show me your shaft, Adam. Oh my God. If you're gonna play in the rain, make sure you wear a raincoat. No.
It really hit me.
Good Lord.
What are we doing?
You're out.
What are we doing?
It's Friday on the show. We wilding out here.
Yeah. We're on short timer syndrome. We're talking about Adam Schefter.
So you guys probably don't care about this, but I wake up every morning. I usually get out of bed at 4:10.
Oh, okay. I thought that was going a different direction.
I got the job done. I I get out of bed at 4:10, get in the shower, rattle some off the walls,
Right. Standard procedure.
Right.
Right.
But then I get dressed, and my wife usually is sound asleep.
Right.
And one of the things that I truly enjoy every day that I look forward to is I kiss my wife and give her a hug while she lays in bed.
Uh-huh.
And this morning, she was like, she said something to the effect of, we always do, I love you, no, I love you, no, I love you. And then she said something today, like, one more day. And I was like, don't tempt me, because I'll leave for the airport right now. And
It is
like,
what it is.
yeah, we can hang out in the Delta Lounge for 2 days. Right? Like,
yeah, let's do the show from the Delta Lounge, bro.
I am ready, bro. I am. And we don't leave till Sunday, but tomorrow is a great day of football, golf in the morning, football in the afternoon.
Working on side projects.
Working on side
grinding.
projects, going to see Gladiator. Like, tomorrow's packed. So tomorrow's going to go like this. Then Sunday, we out this piece.
Yep.
We out this piece. So All right, let's get in the comments section. Look, Force Ghost Fabio gives us $2.
Yeah. Here we go.
Mike Gundy must owe Monty money.
How so, bro? Please enlighten us. Good vibes today. We're don't ruin it, dude. Don't ruin it, bro.
Any Oak State fan, such as in like Force Ghost Fabio, that's defending Mike Gundy, you need to make it make sense.
Yeah.
Hero 75, my guy, where you been? For $5. The only way I see the Big 12 or ACC getting 2 teams in is if somehow Notre Dame loses to Army. Why would you say that? Don't say hurtful things.
Yeah, don't say stuff like that, bro.
But Hero, I got to be honest with you, I'm terrified. Because there's no better rushing attack than Army in this country.
Yeah.
Those boys run the football. And even then, the spot would likely be filled by an SEC team. I totally agree. Because again, Hero, I don't think you're wrong at all. I think if you look at the graphics and you look at the let's say if you go down to 15 at Texas A&M. Personally, I think Colorado, in my opinion, Bud, I think Colorado should be ranked ahead of BYU. I think everybody should slide back. I think BYU should be at 15. I think SMU. I don't think Boise should be Boise State. I believe that they should be where Tulane is. I think they're a top 20 team. They are not a top 12 team. It's ridiculous. But I think Colorado's getting disrespected. But okay, leave it where it is. Let's say Notre Dame loses. They're done. Right? Who's getting that spot? The only 10 I see is getting that spot. That's how I think it would likely go. Because I don't think the powers that be are going to put 2 ACC teams in. You can't make the argument at this level, especially when we flip this graphic to strength of schedule, that you belong in at 86th strength of schedule.
Yeah.
When the only 10 I see has 17th ranked strength of schedule.
What are you, nuts?
Can't do it.
Yeah.
And who's your only loss to? SMU. Yeah, at home to BYU.
Yeah.
Right now, that looks like a good loss. But then and this is the argument that every Boise fan and SMU fan lost their comments on or lost their minds on in the comments section. Make the case for me that BYU belongs behind Boise and SMU.
Good luck.
I don't think you can do it.
Yeah.
I don't think you can do it. But you know what? Bud, Hero 75, I think you're right. I think you're right. It would go to an SEC team. The Buffalo Hunter. Good morning, friend. A member for 16 months. Odds of the Super League only having Big Ten and SEC. I think, to your point about the Baylor president trying to get everybody in a room and they all said, nah, we're good. Buffalo Hunter, I think you're not that far off. I think you're not that far off.
I think it'll be every team from the Big Ten and the SEC, and then I think there will be
it's
portions.
Louis. We coming.
Yeah.
The best part of the Big 12, you're telling me there's a Super League and Prime's not in it?
Yeah. I think the top half of those conferences, the
totes,
Hundo
P, dude. Yeah. I think it is. Yeah. I think it is all about. I think it is all about the top half.
Yeah.
I think it's the very best in the ACC. Because again, who's been really quiet? Oh, that's right. The legal teams at the ACC and Florida State and Clemson.
Right.
I think that you are the reality of their situations is sinking in.
Yeah.
And I do think it's inevitable. It's inevitable that I think a Super League is coming. I've been saying that for 18 months.
Mhm.
I think it's coming. And it's going to be Louis.
Yeah.
Oak State James. Is that Jake or Marty McFly from Back to the Future? Did you guys break up or have a falling out?
What does that even mean?
I don't know what that means. Is that a vest comment? Well, you are wearing a life preserver. Why did you buy that vest?
I didn't.
Well, if you didn't buy it, who gave it to you?
You did.
You going to show him what I got you today? Jake has been busting his ass. We have a side project.
Change the camera and I can.
Okay.
Get it in.
No, I don't care if it.
Well, I do.
Okay. Jake has been busting his ass we're working on a side project, and Jake has been working hard. So I thought, you know what, being Unk, I'm not Unk, I'm actually Pops. I thought that I would just show him the top of the box here. Let's single you up. What is there? Oh, well, what do we have here? What did good old Monty get for his kid? I think a pretty. How about that? How about that? I got my guy
Cobes.
some Cobes.
Cobes.
Look at the back. Look at the heel cup. Like it's a good looking shoe.
Yeah.
That's a good looking shoe.
Sweet, bro.
Jake's been working hard. Thought I would reward him. I was originally going to get him some Cobes for his birthday, which is December 18th. Hint. I was going to get him some Cobes for his birthday because Jake made a business decision several years ago.
Worst decision, one of two terrible decisions in my shoe collecting life.
I don't think it was. Jake won the Kobe Protro Bruce Lee's.
Yeah.
You paid $140 for those shoes. You sold them for like $600.
Yeah, $600. Yeah.
So, do you regret selling them? No. Do you regret not having them in your collection? Very much so. What was the other one?
The Jordan 4. It's like I don't remember what it was called. It was a. Let me look really quick. Hang on. Jordan 4.
I'm not a Jordan 4 fan. You have the Fire Reds.
Yeah, no, it was a rare one that I won on auction. It was several years ago now. It was like it's a black shoe with like some like light yellow accents, and it was like a mashup shoe that I won on the sneakers app. And that shoe I made like a G on.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
And I just can't. I don't remember the name of it, but it was.
That's right. You crushed on that shoe.
Yeah, but yeah, I just obviously. Ever since Kobe passed, like totally regret not having Kobe's in the collection.
And they've been harder to get.
Yeah, they have not released them. Obviously, they weren't.
Him
available.
and his wife had
Yeah.
Kobe's wife and Nike had a falling out. They have since recovered that.
Yeah.
That's a good looking shoe. I also got a pair.
Yeah.
So we match.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't hoop anymore, but it's great to have that in the collection.
It is. And the nice thing about this one, I have the Grinch, the green one of this, and I don't like wearing it a lot because it's a collector.
Yeah.
I'll wear that shoe pretty often because it's also comfortable.
Great indoor golf range shoe.
Yes, it is. I would agree. Gifted. Oh, Calford gifts 10 Monty Show memberships.
Let's go, buddy. Oh, excuse me. Let's go, bud.
Hey, don't forget.
Yeah,
the condescending term is bud.
Yeah.
It's bud.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. Conundrum. Good morning, Conundrum. Good to see you. Super League equals SEC Big Ten with an NFL model.
Yes.
I don't think there's any doubt.
Decided on the football
but
field.
Conundrum and everybody else doesn't the Super League in that model take away all this conversation about Boise's strength of schedule?
Yeah, it does.
I think it does.
Because you're going to play the big boys.
Because you either won the game or you didn't.
Yeah, it's that simple.
You either qualified. The Browns won the game over the Steelers last night, or they didn't.
Yeah.
I think it's that simple. It is as it is. Mike Smith, Mountain Mama. Is that still the beard? Is that what the beard still looks like, Mike? I need some new shoes. I'm wanting pure comfort, huge amounts of padding and such. Hoka.
Yeah.
Hoka.
Yeah, Hoka.
Do not care if they look like elephant turds, long as comfy.
Hoka.
Neuropathy in feet is a bitch. Neuropathy. Hello? Yes, Hokas, my guy.
Yeah.
I love my Hokas,
And I'm
Mrs.
a Nike
Monty.
guy, but if you're just looking for pure comfort, Hokas.
Hokas all
A1.
day.
Yeah.
I love my Hokas. Stephen Shearer, SEC will pick Kansas, Virginia, UNC. Pick up Clemson, FSU, in 3 divisions, 21. SEC West is Texas A&M, Missouri. What makes you think that it makes no sense to melt down the ACC? And I think that Greg Sankey's talked about this repeatedly. Further contraction in college football is bad for business.
Yeah.
Because it really does. I mean, it closes the funnel of opportunity. And I think when we talk about this Matt Rule bite yesterday, and I'm happy to play it again for you. You guys, if we continue to shrink the game of college football, it's not the big boys that are going to suffer.
No, they're going to make more.
It's the G5 and below.
Yeah.
The G5, the FCS, NAIA, HBCUs. They're the ones that are going to lose opportunity because we're going from, 150 something to 105 in roster size. And let me play the Matt Rule bite because I think this really makes a lot of sense when we talk about, listen to this and ask yourself, does contracting the ACC make any sense at all when you listen to Matt Rule talk about roster sizes?
Yeah, the roster limits are a real factor. I mean, it's just, I can't imagine what's going to happen in the next 6 months. And if you're like a coach who's really cares about people, you're going to have to tell guys at the end of the season, like, hey, there's no spot for you here next year. So the guys can go and find somewhere else to go. And you have some players probably who are like, I'm not touching the ball enough, or I'm unhappy. And they're like, I'm going to go in the portal. And you think about the effect that's about to happen. The portal's already flooded. So we have 150, and we need to go to 105. That's 45 guys. Now, I know some seniors, but we'll add some guys. Just think about 20 to 30 guys from every school having to go into the portal and the effect it's going to have on FCS, and then on Division II, and then on NAIA and Division III. It's going to be, so to your point, when Marquise and Jamari say, hey, we want to come back, that's 2 more people now that can't be here next year. And so it's going to be really, not just unique. I sometimes say unique. It's going to be a challenge.
That is, so let's say you do, for argument's sake, contract the ACC and you split that up amongst conferences. And where is what conundrums or whoever that point was? Even if you look at the split right here, you look at splitting it this way, that doesn't make sense for the SEC.
Right.
Why would they want that many teams in that many divisions? The scheduling nightmare alone, the financial implications alone, but the push down when you lose another conference, having 3 power conferences makes no sense.
Right.
And then you have to ask yourself, okay, well, football at 105. Well, what about stick and ball? What about women's sports? What about track and field, Olympic sports? They're all gone at most of those universities because there's only so much money to go around.
Yeah.
And the other part of this is that doesn't make you exponentially more money if you're the SEC.
Right.
Because the cost of infrastructure and management that you would need to build in, the human cost alone would probably be tens of millions of dollars in administrators. And it doesn't make a lot of sense to do that because the Super League does not eliminate conferences. And I think this is really important. The Super League is a football-only solution. And what that extra money does is lift everybody else. Why are we expanding the NCAA tournament? Because more reach and more opportunity means more money for everybody.
Yeah.
More opportunity. Because if Can-Ban Technical Institute of Weightlifting can now get into the NCAA tournament, they're going to be able to recruit more. They're going to be able to provide better facilities and opportunities for kids going to college.
Yeah.
And Greg Sankey has talked about that exact thing. We cannot constrict opportunity for young people to get educated and compete in athletics at the highest level. Scott Barnes at Oregon State, the exact same message. So I don't think I don't think the ACC is going anywhere. Because why did Florida State and the ACC and Clemson begin in court? Well, they wanted to blow up the conference. Okay, cool. Where are they now? Well, we don't want to blow up the conference. We just want you to give us a lion's share of the revenue. So they're negotiating.
Right.
Why is the Pac-12 suing the Mountain West? They want the Mountain West to go away? No, they tried that with taking their teams. They're negotiating. It's not going away, man.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's good that it would go away, frankly. Case Summary, good morning to you, friend. Send Gundy to the chopping block. Have to. If you're going to be serious, and Baylor fans were asking me if it's personal. It's not personal. I am 100% about business. Dave Aranda has no business coaching at Baylor next year.
I think, listen, if you're asking if it's business or personal, you're not listening to the show. Like, you're not, like, we've talked in depth about why Dave shouldn't be there. Like, it's clear what needs to happen at Oklahoma State. The only people who question what should go on at Oklahoma State are Oklahoma State fans, with all due respect. And I'm not even saying that you guys are foolish. I'm just saying that your fandom gets kind of in the way of it. And at some point, you have to be able to say, okay, look, like, Mike's had a great run here, but at some point we got to level up. We got to get back to a place where we're competing to win the Big 12 and, you know, getting back into a better rhythm.
Look at who the newest member of the show is. Did you buy yourself a membership or did you gift yourself a membership?
Nice job, Kelford. Nice job, dude.
That's amazing.
Really well done.
Yeah, Kelford, we really appreciate you. Support the show at a very high level. Thank you. Oak State James. I've already explained what the Super League will be on my YouTube channel. Well, why don't we all just go over there?
Do you want to? Should we just end the show now and everyone can go over there? And
Yeah,
we
I
can
think
just
that's
you can
probably
just get on the plane. Or?
Yeah, get all the pedo priest information off his channel. You know.
Yeah, you know.
James is a pastor who is in the light of Jimmy Swaggart. He is writing and researching, amongst other things, pedophilia in the priesthood.
In God's name, image, and likeness.
Did he get his gift card?
Yeah.
So Jake sends.
I had to resend it.
Jake sends, when you win a gift card from Amazon on our show, it's an email that comes to you. And James like, I never saw it. Didn't get it, bud. Okay.
And he's got it now.
Stymie. Good morning, Stymie. I do love your avatar. I think that's great. ACC isn't changing for a hot minute, and they'll always have basketball to fall back on because basketball makes you money.
Part of the Big 12's problem too. Like, I don't disagree. I think these conferences are like, oh, well, hey, we're good in basketball. Well, cool, but football's got to be the number one.
Yep.
You know, like
Hundo. Harry Austin, Monty, Harry. Dude. Contracting is happening all across our society, so college football will not be any different. But sports is not real life. It's the old golf adage, feel is not real, right? What's happening in the real world is not real life. When you look at Juan Soto getting $700 million, who else is doing that?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Not
in real life. No cop is making. Well, I mean, I watch Miami Vice, so I know it's possible. But no average worker. None of us working stiffs are. That's not real life. But I don't think you're wrong. The contraction is happening. I think that's very accurate. But you look at the billions that are being allocated in college sports, and just the likely $1 billion it takes to compete at the highest level in college football. I think contraction, maybe the better word, Harry, is attrition. Because how many Boise teams are there that can pay $1 billion a year to compete in football? Because it's going to take between half and $1 billion to get there.
Right.
I don't even know what you do if you're Sac State and you want to win the college football playoff. Good luck, bud, because I don't know how you even do that.
Yeah.
I truly do not. I don't think you're wrong, Harry. I just think professional sports, which college athletes are professional athletes.
Yeah.
It just isn't reality. Like while I was creating fertilizer this morning, I was watching the Georgia golf coach on TikTok. Do you their golf facility is? Have you guys ever seen the University of Utah's golf facility?
Catch me outside. How about that?
Have you seen like some of the golf facilities, like
the IPF?
Thank you. The IPF golf facility. Do you guys have any idea what schools are spending on golf now?
Money.
It's wild.
And there's a lot of money in that sport.
It's not real life. That's the thing that's always struck me is, well, the Tua Tagovailoa conversation we always have. Guys making $50 million a year? Who am I to tell him what to do with that?
Yeah.
I'd protect my brain. But Tua's making generational money every time he steps on the field. It's not real life, right? Tanner Plummer. Matt Rule rubbing his face right there says it all, doesn't it, though?
It does.
He's stressed out about this new reality of college football because it's tough when you are Matt Rule. And having talked to Matt a bunch of times, I can tell you he's a very heartful, caring individual. When he has to tell a kid, hey, man, we don't have a spot for you next year.
Right.
Because those conversations are happening right now. I don't know how many people realize that. The portal opens up in 2 weeks. Do you guys understand that the dreams of playing football in college and certainly in the NFL, do you understand how many dreams are going to die in the next 2 weeks?
A lot.
Do you know how hard that is? When you are somebody like a Matt Rule, a Deion Sanders, a Kalani Sitake.
The responsibility. I mean, it's just terrible.
A Kyle
It's
Whittingham.
brutal.
Who genuinely cares about his guys. To go to those people and say, hey, bud, this is where it all ends.
Yeah.
Do you know how hard that is? And then you say to them, hey, get in the portal. And let's see I know the conversations that I've been told generally happen are, if you like a kid, if you're Matt Rule and you like one of your kids, but you don't have a spot for him anymore, you're going to say to him, get in the portal. Let me make some calls for you. Let me find a home for you. So they're not only recruiting, they're not only getting in the portal to recruit, in the portal and in high school.
Yeah.
They're not only worried about winning a bowl game or college football playoff games. Now they're calling around saying, hey, Kalani, it's Matt at Nebraska. I got this kid. I don't have a spot for him. Man, he's one of the best gunners I've ever seen. He's a try-hard kid. He's a great like, you're out here selling your guys.
Yeah.
Because you can't have them at your table anymore. You know how hard that is? I can't imagine it. It's Chip Kelly to Ohio State. I wouldn't want this job. I would not want to be a head coach in college football right now.
Yeah.
I think it's why you're seeing Nick Saban retire. Because I just don't think it's a desirable gig anymore.
Totally agree, man.
I talk to a lot of golf professionals every day in my life, believe it or not. Do you know how many golf professionals say to me, yeah, I don't ever play golf. I don't have time.
Yeah, I just do my job that happens to be in golf.
Think about that. You're a college football coach. Do you know how many college football coaches don't have a lot of time to coach football? Like Todd Graham. Remember the Todd Graham conversation at Pac-12 Media Day all those years ago?
Hey, Todd doesn't win anything, but man, he makes money.
What did Todd Graham tell us? All those years ago, whatever that was, 2018 or whatever.
Yeah.
The old head coach at Arizona State. He raised all of the money for the rebuild at Sun Devil Stadium.
Yeah.
And then got fired as the year that it opened, he got fired. And why did he get fired? Because it's what he told us at Media Day. I don't have time to coach football.
Yeah.
I'm out raising money for our stadium. I'm out talking to people, shaking. He was telling us his wife travels with him because he's traveling so much to banquets and handshakes and conferences, and because he's trying to raise money to rebuild the stadium.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. You're a football coach who doesn't have time to coach football. I don't know why people want that gig. And maybe I'm making too much of it, but I think it's a really hard job right now.
Yeah.
I do. I think it's a very difficult job. Shout-a. Texas fans had some bad years before Sark. Yeah, did anybody notice who got fired at Florida International? Mr. Herman.
Yeah.
God, you remember the Herman disaster? Brutal. Jesus. Has Sark not saved Texas football?
He has.
Good Lord. The stadium guy. All I want for Christmas is formed OC Todd Monken to coach it Oak State. You really would rather have? I don't think Munkin's the guy. I don't. Midweek Coug. What's his name with the Falcons? Zach, whatever. If the Super League happens, the other sports should go back to their regions. But it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. But I think if the Super League happens, it makes more money, so it gives more money to the lower tier sports.
Yes.
And again, I think that's why they're expanding the NCAA tournament, which nobody believes me, but trust me, it's coming. JC, good. Us Fresno poverty-stricken fans can't afford to compete. I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, and if you embrace that, you're going to be a lot better off.
JC also says, be ready for that E. coli fruit basket. Hey, man. Life in the Central Valley of California is about to change dramatically. Jeremiah Champion. Well, there's always NCAA 25. Anybody could be a champion on that game. Hey, bud, listen.
Hey, Morty.
We don't have a spot for you on the roster anymore. But if you want to hang out and play some Xbox, go back to your dorm room.
Cold-blooded, clean, methodical, and thorough.
NCAA 25.
Yeah.
All right, get the hell out. And don't take your practice jersey. We can't afford new ones. I read that one already. Tanner, yes, Jeremiah, no committee in the NCAA 25 to shaft teams. Wow. Okay. Jeremiah says, I don't remember where, but there was an article that was saying the NL should be extended to cheerleaders as well. NIL, which if that cheerleading team constantly goes and competes and wins, but this is the whole Title IX. I don't know how many people understand this. Title IX, which doesn't only cover women, but Title IX issues have not been resolved with NIL and the House settlement. Because much to Harry Austin's point, I don't think we're seeing contraction at the conference level in a mass form. I don't think the ACC goes away. I could be wrong. We are definitely seeing roster numbers shrink.
Yeah.
Contraction.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing sports and scholarships being eliminated.
Dude,
contraction.
Just the total number of opportunity at every level, like total roster level, scholarships, availability in the college football playoff. Like, oh, well, it expanded. What do you mean? Well, yeah, it expanded, but the SEC and the Big Ten are going to get the lion's share of that opportunity. Not everybody. So opportunity contracted there. No question about it.
Yep. I agree. Norge Coug back in the membership.
Nice, dude. Nice.
Norge, good to see you. Oh boy. Comment dump. Big Daddy Magic commented, wow, that's a huge comment dump right there, which is different than another huge, never mind. Big Daddy Magic, I saw you here. Hello. I'm certain you were talking about the Spurs. How about the Jazz last night? Touch and go for the Utah Jazz last night. They almost pulled out a loss. Almost pulled out a loss. That was close.
Yeah.
Whew. Thankfully, they hung on to lose that game.
Right.
Good win for the Jazz last night. So, Big Daddy Magic, I'm certain you're excited about Victor coming to town on Tuesday. Tanner Plummer, that's why having a backup plan is a must when playing college football. You never know when your football career is going to end. True.
Yeah.
JC, my dream died with your latest podcast. Okay. Congratulations. Salty Virginia Peanuts. The part letting people go is very real world. When I've reallocated people, wow,
corporate ease.
Reallocated
hey,
people.
You're. I love this. I love this. Hey, your position is no longer available at the company.
We're gonna have to go ahead and reallocate you.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and reallocate you to picking and packing down in the lower dungeon. Have fun with that, okay?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have you ever worked a mop in a bucket?
Donnie, you're out of your element.
I have to go ahead and reallocate you. I spent a lot of time connecting them with other positions in and out of the company. Yeah. I agree. Red Wine, Saban retired because everyone can do NIL now.
No, Saban retired because he hated the way the job changed. It had nothing to do with NIL.
Are you inferring that he was cheating? Yeah, come on, dude. Peanuts says, Stymie Sturdley, Kelly sent Underwood to Michigan as an advanced scout. That's the next place he wants to metastasize. Brian Kelly's a fraud as a head coach. And as somebody that had to suffer under the weight of his stupidity.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Brian Kelly's not a winner, man.
Yeah.
And until he wins, he's not. Midweek Coug, you will see more coaches retire early or go to smaller schools to coach football. Don't think that's
all
wrong.
they want to do is coach the football. They don't want to deal with the nonsense.
Yes, Zach Robinson. Thank you. Zach Robinson is the guy I would probably call. But, JC, I love you guys. Thanks for the laughs.
Yeah, bro.
Okay. Jeremiah. I can't. Can I do it every time?
Jeremiah Champion.
Jeremiah Champion.
He's just a hack.
What a stud.
I have legit seen Old Dominion make the playoffs in NCAA 25. I think Connecticut made it a few times to actually.
Bro's
Old
probably got
Dominion.
like $250 million in NIL money running through Old Dominion.
Tanner Plummer, go Jazz. Keep Operation in the Pooper for Cooper alive. I'm not going to say the other way.
Yeah.
Brandon Butler. Will Hardy for Coach of the Year. Sexton getting subbed for Collier with a brilliant move at the end of the game. Listen, bud. You're terrible. Go ahead and check in.
Because it's garbage.
We're awfully close to winning this game. I'm going to need you to go ahead and check in.
I need you to go and do a job.
Go ahead and build that brick house, okay?
Yeah. Yep. Green light to shoot whenever you want.
Dude, they were so close to losing that game, the Jazz last night. It was scary. And they did a great job pulling out the win by losing. And I just feel like the Jazz
pulling it out is always a difficult thing, I mean, it's something that they're good at.
The Jazz wound up winning the game by losing 126 to 118. My guy John Collins is balling out. And as much as I think they should have traded him in the summer, it looks like a stroke of brilliance that they have kept him on the roster.
Yeah.
Now, somebody needs to tell Lauri Markkanen, Lowry, you prick! Somebody needs to tell Lowry, the prime rib, that we're trying to lose games here.
Yeah.
That 27-point performance last night, you're better than that.
Mm-hmm.
You're better than that. Your knee is sore. Have a seat, bud. Also, Johnny Juzang with 18 last night was pretty impressive. Anybody see? No, I know. Don't get me started on the Lakers.
What else people got? What else are people saying?
My dream died when Real Salt Lake lost in the first round of the playoffs again.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that.
Hadn't heard that.
Yeah, cool.
Slayed Red. Slayer. Shout out to BYU Lacrosse, national champs in the MCLA.
Man, wow.
Is that like the MCU? Would love to see Big 12 sanction lacrosse and join the NCAA. Well, and I would love to have every pair of Jordans ever released.
Yeah, and I'd love to sleep till 8 o'clock every day.
Dude, do you understand what I could do if I slept 8 hours a night? Peanut says that's why they call it reallocation. Not my word. These folks had highly technical skills. Ain't blaming you. Boyd Lake, tell us what you do here. Hey, listen. Just tell us what you do here. Office. Oh, God, it's so good. Did Brian Kelly help Notre Dame get to the national championship game? No, not as much as Manti Te'o's dead girlfriend.
No.
David E. Persons, does that mean that Mike Gundy and OSU is going to be reallocated? Speak it into existence.
We may have to go short in a couple cases.
We may have to go short. Glenn, 80 brick, 2 straight free throws. Dude, so let me get this right. You're up 2. Anthony Davis, who's a really good free throw shooter.
Not last night, he wasn't.
Who are you? The Utah Jazz?
Yeah.
He misses 2 of them. Wagner comes down and hits a 3 to win the game for Orlando.
After the street closed Davis.
Nice job, dude.
Hey, how about those 9 threes from Dalton Connect 2 games ago? Where were you last night, prick? Okay, I feel better. Look at that. Calford, 10 more.
Bro, what's your reallocation of budget to donating memberships, bro? I have to ask at this point. I mean, that's got to be like 100 this week. Legit.
That's got to be.
At least.
And we appreciate that. We appreciate
and I'm
that.
not complaining. I'm just saying it's pretty impressive.
Mayor, hilarious. Stellar win for the Jazz last night.
Yeah,
exactly
great
right.
job, dude.
Huge
Execute the game plan.
Did we ever get that Will Hardy bite?
No, we didn't.
Will Hardy.
No.
Was it Dalton Connect he was talking about?
Yeah, he said that everybody in the building knew that Dalton Connect was going to shoot the ball except for a few people. Unfortunately, those few people were on our team. Jesus, Will. Bro.
That was a masterpiece of dog shit.
Dude.
Coach, can you talk about Dalton Connect? And he says it in that monotone voice well. Dalton Connect, hot from three. Everybody in the building knew that Dalton Connect was going to shoot threes, except a couple of people. And unfortunately, those couple of people were on our team.
Bruh.
Damn.
Oh, my God. And I tweeted that bite of him saying that with a flamethrower gif.
Dude.
Because, oh, my God. Point taken. Who the F cares about RSL? I love soccer. But who the F cares about lacrosse, Tanner?
Excellent question. Excellent question.
If you spend 35 seconds watching lacrosse, you will care. It is it is a wildly entertaining sport. Roche, I don't know how you try losing with Markkanen. The Jazz even struggle losing. Dude, I'm telling you, Lowry has a sore knee, needs to sit out tonight.
Yeah, it's just,
It's that pubic bone that's bruised. He needs to sit out tonight. He's got to take a rest.
He needs some cold therapy, it's not going to work tonight.
UW fan Jim, good morning. Did Baylor basically reduce Aranda's role to defense after last season?
Hey, Jim, whoa, reallocate, bro.
They
reallocated him.
And he clearly forgot to allocate talent as a head coach.
Okay, that's enough. Stop, please.
If so, is that sustainable? Well, it was Grimey's fault.
Apparently.
I know that there's a bit of red assery in my comments about this conference, but the state of Texas is weighing this conference down.
Yeah.
TCU, Houston. Joey. Dave. 8-Ball. Mr.
Bro.
Clean. You got to do better. TCU's got to do better.
Yeah.
Houston's on the rise. Do better. Oak State. Essentially the state of Texas. Oak State's got to do better.
Yeah.
Do better. In high school, lacrosse was an excellent spring activity for football players.
An excellent spring activity.
Dude, if you have not seen a fullback running down the middle of a lacrosse field.
We have Kyle Juszczyk here with his big stick running down the middle of the field.
Just handing out body bags.
Dude.
It built a lot of complementary skills and increased speed and endurance. Yes, it does. Mike's Mountain Mama. Aranda turned Baylor's season around enough to pull a Neil Brown. What? Now there's billboards in Waco? No. I'm not making Koresh jokes today.
David Koresh.
Have one good season and he stays. It's brutal. This is a Jazz show. Yes, that's right, Cam Harrison.
That's right. And it's really unfortunate, dude.
Jeremiah Champion. Dude, seriously, I mean, it's awesome, but may we ask what you do as a career? Curious minds.
Wait, are you asking us?
No, I think he means Virginia Peanuts. Tanner Plummer. First, it was a masterpiece of dog shot. Now it was Dalton's rant. Will Hardy is quickly becoming a national treasure.
That was a masterpiece of dog shit.
I love that, dude.
Yeah.
It is not his fault. Boyd Lake, the SEO king of America. Lacrosse is fun, the opposite of soccer. Wow.
Savage.
Wow. Mayor hilarious. Guys. Hey, guys. If BYU lacrosse team played RSL in 2005, who would the right back have been running through the midfield to help the keeper be the sweeper?
It's an own question.
Tanner Plummer. Lies, Boyd. Peanuts. Lowry. Ugh. That sounds like a urinary tract disorder. It does.
Yeah, Okay.
Take Lowry for your UTI. Side effects include massive explosive diarrhea and cancer in every organ.
It's not the best situation, and we all know that.
But you too can see results inside of 37 days when you
Inside being the key word.
inside of you. When you take Lowry, it does. Jim Brown lacrosse. I blame Ted Cruz. Don't we all blame Ted Cruz?
Cancun
Cruz. Thank you. Welcome to the nightmare. I'm glad Malzahn reallocated himself from not calling plays.
No, I'm not doing that.
Tanner, the only lacrosse team I cared about was the high school team in American Pie. How much you did so much forearm strengthening to that
Yeah, you
show.
watched American Pie, bro?
He did so much forearm strengthening to that movie. Every one of the sequels, too. A spring activity, Jeremiah says. Snooker. My brother and his friends played lacrosse in high school. Imagine 6 Polynesians playing. My God.
Dude, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna head out.
Jay Taffa, my barber,
bro,
is a rugby player. And now he's trying to learn to golf. And I'm telling the Poly Bros can hit the ball a mile. A mile. Not many Tony Finau's out there.
Tony.
Jay McClanahan, come on, UCF. Please help Neil Brown get fired this weekend. Do you think West Virginia moves on from Neil Brown? Do you think they reallocate him?
It's like an act of Congress.
Apparently. So good. So good. All right. Let's go. The Monty Show, hour number 2, presented by our friends at The Advocates, theadvocates.com. Can BYU go to Tempe and win? We'll tell you in 15 seconds.
When you've been injured in an accident, you need a lawyer, and you deserve an advocate. Insurance companies don't always play fair, but we can keep them in check. Most cases settle out of court, but we'll take your case to trial if necessary. You deserve an advocate.
Yes, you do deserve an advocate at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. You can chat with an injury attorney live online, and it won't cost you a dime, 24/7, 365 at theadvocates.com. BYU at Arizona State against the Fighting Dillinghams. BYU's a 3.5-point dog on the road. 48.5 is the number. 130 on ESPN. I want to pick BYU.
So badly.
Badly. I want to believe that BYU can win this game. But I got to tell you, one of BYU's biggest issues is consistency on offense. And Jake, it's absolutely terrifying to me.
Mm-hmm.
And Scattaboo is absolutely a wrecking ball. I am excited to see BYU's linebackers. You've got to be disciplined on the edge to contain Scattaboo.
Yeah.
But I can't see a way that BYU wins this game.
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing that I'm concerned about is the lead up to this game for ASU. You've got everybody and their mom in that town ready for you. And I understand that the fans don't play on the field. They're not in the game, obviously. But if there was ever a time, in recent memory for ASU fan to show up, this would be that game. And the reason I bring that up is because Kenny Dillingham's team is physical. Like, Scattaboo is obviously the spearhead, but you watch their tape and you watch how they go about playing football. It's not just him. I mean, it's the line, it's their defense. Like that's a characteristic that goes through the whole team.
Yeah.
And what concerns me about that is not that BYU is like soft or something. I'm not saying that. BYU is a tough defense. Like they're a gritty team. But what concerns me is that the direction of BYU versus Arizona State is very different. Arizona State, in my opinion, in this game has nothing to lose. You lose this game, well, you shouldn't have been here anyway. You win this game, and you're everyone's All-American. Holy cow, ASU's way overachieving. Kenny's going to get a 5-year deal. Like, everything's amazing. But for BYU, the difference is that BYU's been the sweetheart of the conference this year. Hey, you were 9-0, everything was awesome. Now you lost to Kansas. Now you're having to bounce back on the road against ASU, a team that clearly sees opportunity playing you on their field. So I just am a little bit nervous about momentum in this game, about how Arizona State's going to come out. I would not be surprised if BYU is down 10 in the first quarter in this game, only because of the momentum.
That'd be shocking. My question is this the biggest game of the Kenny Dillingham tenure?
I think it's the biggest game of both sidelines' careers so
Is
far.
ASU ready to play at this level of emotion? They have not played at this level. This game's going to be turned emotionally. There's no doubt about that. You can control those emotions by running the football 40 times. Problem is, only one team against BYU has been able to run the ball 40 times.
Yeah.
And that was K-State. And K-State lost. And up until last week, BYU's advantage had been they win the takeaway margin.
Yeah.
Last week, -1. They lost. There's a real clear and simple formula for BYU to win this game. Hold Scattaboo and Arizona State under 40 attempts rushing. Because what does that mean? You're scoring and you are controlling the clock. 2, this secondary has to have the game of its life. You need to pressure and you need to make sure that when that ball is in the air, that Sam Leavitt is not completing 75% of his passes. This week, no balls, no interceptions through the hands of the DBs.
No, you got to have those this week.
This week, Isaiah Glasker cannot drop an interception. You've got to get the turnover margin. You should have beaten Kansas handily, but you didn't. And it cost you dearly because this should be the week where you can afford to lose a game. You lost last week. That luxury's over with now. Arizona State thinks they can. Arizona State thinks they will. What will BYU do to change their opinions? Well, number one, the fans are going to be out of this world. I cannot tell you how many fans have reached out to me and said, hey, you know what? We are flying down Friday morning. We are going to party Friday night. We are going to be there Saturday afternoon. I cannot tell you how many fans in the comment section on TikTok have sent me messages saying, hey, we've got a van load. We're driving down today. I must have gotten 10 of those messages.
Yeah.
Took the next 2 weeks off. Thanksgiving. We're starting early. We're going down to Tempe. It's going to be raucous. It is going to be wild. BYU fans are elite. They travel in droves. And I've got to tell you, they don't need droves because they have a huge LDS BYU population in the Valley, in Tempe. They're showing up.
This is, to me, this has a chance to be, from a stadium perspective and a fan crowd perspective, this has a chance to me to be one of those games where there is a clear split in the crowd, where there's so many people there that you're going to see ASU's on one side, BYU's on the other side, and it's just a battle. Like, that's what I think you're looking at. Because again, the thing with the community, for the LDS community in Phoenix, is it's largely, in my opinion, in my experience living there, you would never know it's there unless you looked for it. It very much kind of hangs out in the background. And the thing is that they will show up. They will buy the tickets. They will go. And that's what I'm saying. I think I firmly believe this is the biggest game for both sidelines of their careers. I think Kalani's done a hell of a job. This is his biggest game to date. This is the you've never played under Kalani Sitake a game with this many consequences, this importance, this level of risk reward factor, if you will. And for Kenny, this is their real first opportunity to make a splash that means something. Like, beating Utah was cool and that's great, but yeah, it's just ASU. That's a bad loss for Utah. That's what everybody said. This win for Kenny would be, hey, you guys beat Utah on the way. You beat some good teams on the way. And now you beat the best team in the Big 12 by record. And now you're on track to get to the championship game, which nobody saw coming. And that, to me, is why you're going to get, you can't miss this game. You got to watch this game. 100%.
I need a new level of Jake Retzloff. I need 65, 68% completions. So can't have drops. Can't have balls on the boundary that need to be on the hash.
Yeah.
Because the big play is going to be open. The single biggest question is, can BYU hold up against the run? Because Oak State ran all over you. K-State ran all over you. Utah ran all over you.
Mm-hmm.
But you made critical plays to win those games, and you created turnovers.
UCF had their moments on the ground against you.
UCF ran all over you. It's okay if they're going to run on you. And the good news, if you're a BYU fan, is Arizona State doesn't run for 7-8 yards a carry. Scatterboo wants to punch you in the face. He doesn't want to run away from you.
Yeah.
The problem is BYU's been terrible defensively on third down. Getting off the field on third down. Huge problem. And then you did get off the field and that pooch punt hit you in the top of the helmet. Are you going to get off the field on third down against Arizona State? I think that stat, third down percentage, is going to be huge. I think drop passes and completion percentage on both sides is going to be huge. And I actually think this is going to be a game that's going to see a lot of points. I think the only way to go with this game is the over. But the score I keep coming back to is 31-24 Arizona State.
Man.
And
that's a season under at that point.
It is a season under.
You're done.
And because I saw too many things that were not aberrations last week. The special teams pooch punt, okay, I can write that off. The drop passes, all season long. The missed deep balls, all season long. All season long. Bad play calling, all season long. These things start to add up, and it's that anvil around your neck. Hey, Darius has got 1.5 yards on his DB. Half a yard on his DB. I'm going to throw that ball to the boundary. It just can't continue. But can you make seismic changes? And can you shore up details that you haven't had all season long? And I understand it's naughty talk in Provo to say anything negative about Aaron Roderick. His play calling at times has been garbage.
Yeah.
Run the football. Run the football. Stop putting this team in 2nd and 10 on a regular basis like it's your job.
Yeah, you're not getting by that this week.
Like you get a performance bonus if the offense is in 2nd and 10 every time. Stop. Run the ball. If you're in 2nd and 10 because you ran the ball on first down, nobody's complaining about your play calling. When you take shots and wide receivers are dropping passes on first down, and Jake is throwing the ball to the boundary instead of the hash on first down, now you're in 2nd and 10 and 3rd and 8. I'm going to bitch about your play calling on first down.
Yeah.
Run the football. Set up play action so that you can score points in the second half. Half the problem is the offense becomes predictable in the second half for BYU. And so now, instead of Jake getting man coverage, he's getting nickel and dime in the second half.
Because you haven't earned man coverage.
Because you're not running play action.
Yeah.
So you're getting linebackers falling out, taking away Chase Roberts underneath because you haven't earned their respect with play action.
Yeah.
Because you haven't run the ball enough. Run the football. Run the football. You got 4 running backs. Run the football.
RPO?
Run the football. Run the football. Set up that read option, that pitch that Jake has become an absolute demon with. Because when he keeps the ball, good things are happening. But we haven't done that.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen that. Aaron Roderick has refused to do that. If it's the same old Aaron Roderick, they're losing this game, and they're going to give up 31 points doing it. Because the simple question I have is, if this team is consistently behind the sticks, meaning 2nd and 10, 3rd and 8, you're not going to have enough possessions to win the game.
Yeah.
Because ASU is going to control the clock. So when I say I can't find a way to get there, that's why I can't find a way to get there. Now, I have scenarios where Jake Retzloff completes 65 to 68% of his passes. BYU, a la UCF, has a 28-point lead at the half. Game's over. Arizona State's not built to come back from multiple touchdowns. Can that happen? Sure it can. I don't think it's likely against Arizona State on the road I think it's 31-24 Arizona State.
Yeah, the thing that stands out to me in this game is there's going to be a lot of turnovers. I think that Arizona State's defense is opportunistic and physical. I'm with you in the concept of I'd love to see a new level of Jake Retzloff. I would love to see that. However, it's not just on him. There are passes he throws that are right on your hands and you don't catch it.
You can't keep having drop passes.
And that's not on him, but it does hurt him in the stat sheet. So I don't believe that I don't know what it is on the season right now, his completion percentage off the top of my head. But if you're a 60 to 63% guy because your receivers just aren't catching the ball at a high rate, that's not on Jake. And that's the hard part is that if we sit here with the logic of, hey, we're not going to change their stripes at this point in the season, if you will. Aaron Roderick isn't all of a sudden going to be committed to running it 30 times a game because they're on the road at ASU. If we just go with, hey, these guys are who we know them to be, then I think Arizona State wins this game by less than a field goal. I think that it's a 31-30 kind of game. It's super tight. BYU driving down the field late to try to win. Maybe you throw a pick and that ends the game. That kind of scenario. Because I do think Arizona State's going to get out to an early lead in this game. I do think that BYU is going to have to absorb the shock value, that initial wave of emotion where Arizona State's just running it down your throat and beating the hell out of you. And then you're going to have to come back to earth a little bit. And that's my concern.
The only hope that I have is looking at Arizona State week by week. The Utah game really stands out. It's in the same stadium, and it's going to be stylistically a very similar game. But you have a quarterback who does not throw a lot of interceptions. Jake Retzloff, for everything that he's not, Jake has done a very good job of not throwing a lot of interceptions in volume. That one last week in the end zone, okay. Cam Rising broke his leg on the second or third play of the game and still played the entire game. 0 touchdowns, I think 209 yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 picks. Jake Retzloff's not doing that. The offensive line at BYU at this point is better than Utah's offensive line was at that point.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that.
Jake Retzloff has far more weaponry than Cam Rising had, and hopefully at that point he doesn't have a broken leg. So my feeling is that BYU will have the opportunity to score. But I got to tell you, and it was without Karene Reed, and that defense was not healthy against Utah.
Yeah.
But no, not yeah. Scadaboo ran for 7.2 yards a carry in that game, if memory serves, against Utah. You're not getting that against BYU.
Yeah.
And that's not who Scadaboo's been all season.
But the lack of tackling from Utah in that game was horrendous.
Right, because Karene Reed did not play in that game.
Yeah, but he's one guy.
Right, but
I'm telling you, bro.
I'm going to choke you out.
Dude, it was not just, it was Karene Reed being out doesn't make up for, hey, you didn't tackle well.
Right, but I think you also have to understand that when you look at their defense, you had Teo Johnson at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at Utah and you look at the way that Utah plays defense, like if you go back to the BYU game, right? And you look at the guys that really made an impact on that defense. Karene Reed had 8 tackles and 2 tackles for loss in that game, right? And you start understanding that Tanavasa wasn't healthy in the Arizona State game. Huge run stopper there. You start looking at the way that this defense is built for Utah, and the reason I bring this up, who are their key guys on defense against the run? Karene Reed certainly is number 1. And Lander Barton is number 2. And Lander Barton had a huge game. He injured Scadaboo in that game with that hit.
Oh, yeah, he did.
So you look at guys like Logan Fanu, Junior Tafuna. Those guys are huge performers. And that defense was not healthy against Arizona State. And I go back, and the reason that I bring this up is because I think BYU is probably going to be the most physical and most talented defense that ASU has seen this year, because I go back to that Arizona State game, and I look at the guys that led the line for Utah on defense. Rabbit Evans, Teo Johnson, Logan Fano, Jonathan Hill, Van Filliger. you don't have your best tacklers, your best run stoppers in that game. I think this BYU defense is the best that Arizona State's going to see. And I don't believe for a second, and you look at Cam Scatterbo in that game, 22 for 158 and 7.2 yards, and he was injured.
Yeah.
And they only ran the ball 37 times and scored 27 points doing it. And why were they able to score 27 points? Because Sam Levitt, who also was injured in that game, had room and space to operate behind the linebackers because they were so committed to stop the run. You're not going to have that. The defense, the secondary specifically, is better at BYU than it is at Utah. And I think that is why this game could be tight. That is why this game could be tight. But you really think they can win this game?
I think BYU can win this game, yeah. I think that I think this game is about BYU. I don't think it's about Arizona State in the sense that Arizona State will decide the game. I do believe with all my heart that they will come out and put 10 points on BYU early because they're going to have momentum. They're going to be tuned up. And, obviously they're at home. I think the thing, though, is that BYU in the first half is going to have a couple of big moments. I think they are going to connect on the deep shot. I think they are going to climb right back in the game, and they're going to have that momentum swing going into the middle of the second quarter. And then from right there, that's where the game really will start, because once you're even again, what do you choose to do offensively? And this is my concern about Aaron Roderick is, hey, if the first 3 possessions of the game for you, you're behind and you're passing a lot and you're going down the field with success, then do we stick with that model, or do we go back to, hey, we're going to control the clock now. We're going to keep Scatterbo and the boys off the field. We're going to run the football. Aaron's not that guy. He's never been that guy.
If ASU controls the clock, they're going to score 30 points. If you can get off the field on defense on third down, which this defense has not been able to do, and if Aaron Roderick calls a better game, they're going to win the game. But it is not my problem for BYU in this game is not LJ Martin. It's that he won't get enough carries. It's not Jake Retzloff. It's that he'll be put in bad situations on 2nd and 10 and 3rd and 8.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. If you don't have drop passes and Aaron Roderick dominates in play action, BYU will win the game.
Yeah.
But he won't. Because he hasn't. And what makes me think he will?
Yeah, I'm taking ASU 31-30. I think it's a super tight game. I think that BYU is driving down the field late in the game, just like they did against Oklahoma State. And this time, though, they don't convert.
You've got to win the coin toss.
Dude.
You've got, if BYU gets the ball first, I would love to see it. The ideal start, I would love to see on a 15-play script, I would love to see 3, 4, 5 straight runs and then a ball underneath to Chase Roberts. And then I would love to see on the very next play, on the 6th play of the game, play action, deep shot, touchdown, Darius Lasser.
Yep.
That's how I would script it.
I will say to that point, I do think after watching some of ASU's stuff, their willingness to come up to the line is pretty quick. They are not a team that's going to deal with or like put up with or tolerate the underneath stuff a lot. So like if they come out in a base defense, 4-3, base defense, and you run the ball with some success, and then you hit that Chase Roberts underneath, they're going to come up closer to the line of scrimmage, and that will open up for Darius. And I do think that is a very, that's a high possibility it could happen.
I think the thing that worries you if you are BYU is listen, Aaron Roderick's going to decide the game.
Yeah. We're well.
Jake Retzloff has repeatedly shown the ability to manipulate linebackers. Repeatedly. He has repeatedly shown you the ability to pull the ball down and get that 3rd down in 5. But you can't keep living on that. I think it's 31-24 Arizona State. I would love to see it a different way. I'd love to see a 38-34 BYU win. Because I think that's the only way they win this game if it turns into a shootout. And the only way it turns into a shootout is if Arizona State's linebackers are at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
the only way it turns into a shootout. So we'll see. Let's go. Tanner Plummer, I want to see BYU run the ball at least 25 times, whether it's with LJ Hinckley. I don't care. 25 times.
Dude, 20 times. Bro, like anything's better than what, 13 times last week?
Do you know what I would give to see BYU have a game plan that calls for 35 runs? Do you know what I would give to see Aaron Roderick put Jake Retzloff repeatedly and consistently in play action pass numbers? I'd love to see a dozen play action passes in this game. But how do you get to play action effect? Because you can fake handoff all you want.
Yeah.
If the linebacker doesn't believe you, you don't even waste your time.
Yeah.
Right. But this team in second and third down is in the gun so often because first down, you're taking ridiculous pass.
You gotta be committed to it, bro.
BYU makes me crazy. Last week in their loss last week, BYU was 3 of 10 on third down. BYU only and this is the number that is shocking to me. That when you look at their passing numbers, 18 of 29, and you lost the game, and you threw the ball more or less than you ran it, and you lost because of when you threw it and the turnovers.
Yeah.
And so Aaron Roderick's going to decide the game. It's really as simple as that to me. Mike Smith, run, play action fake here and there, control the clock. Exactly right.
It's not difficult.
Exactly right. Mayor McCluskey, Tanner, I want to see some more MOA. Dude has been a tank. I think he's been excellent. We talked about this early in the season. He's been excellent when he's been given opportunities.
Yep.
I like Rapati, but he's very much a thunderback. LJ Martin's lightning. Rapati has a use. Don't throw Rapati the football, please.
No.
Stop.
Bro.
Stop throwing him and I don't even mind him on the outside. I don't mind him on the outside. He is a very, I think, purpose-driven running back. He's not somebody you can give the ball to 15, 20 times a game. Yeah. That's LJ Martin. And that should be your horse.
But I think to this point, I do think that Moa can be a nice, like you've got your two guys, but then you have this third guy where, hey, let's put him in some different situations. Hey, do we want to run a little option, maybe run a little sweep, maybe like just some unique looks with a different back that can give LJ Martin a breather once in a while.
Yep. Jeff Sudbeck gives 5 Monty
Hey,
Show
Jeff.
members. Hey, Sudbeck.
Nice name.
Thank you, Mr.
appreciate you, Jeff.
Sir. Calford will not be outdone. 10 more Monty Show memberships. Let's go. Appreciate you very much. Thank you. Look at you. Let's go. Aggie. BYU took so many interviews after the Utah win, they felt accomplished. Lost focus. Kansas better be the wake-up call they needed.
We'll see.
I think that you had no choice to have it be a letdown game. I think that's very, very difficult. Mayor McCluskey, I want to see BYU run a triple reverse flea flicker in the red zone.
Who are you, Texas?
The rack attack! Oh, I can't believe you had that guy throw an interception on a trick. Tanner Plummer. I heard this crazy stat the other day. Teams the week after playing Utah are 2-7. Utah makes you hurt. I continue to tell people Utah's not a bad football team.
No, they've had their injury ridden, and it is what it is. It's just,
Mike, don't call me Mikal Chase. BYU could have a 3-headed monster in the backfield. Give the ball to LJ Martin. Mix and purposefully mix your other running backs.
Yes.
You've got depth on this team.
It has to be like whatever number, like everyone likes to use the 30 runs a game number. It could be 10 runs a game if those 10 runs earn the respect of the defense. Like
this team's not committed to running the ball.
No, they're not. They're not. That's not their brand.
I think they ran it 33 times last week or something like that.
This team under Aaron Roderick would rather run West Coast concepts more consistently than turning it around and handing it off. And look, I love the West Coast screen game out to the flat kind of play to Darius. Love that. But at some point, You have to turn around and make dudes earn that respect.
All right. 31-24 ASU, unfortunately, is my pick.
31-30 ASU. Jake throws a pick to end the game.
Real quick, Colorado at Kansas.
Prime.
I think Colorado is going to win this game by 5 touchdowns. I think they are going to absolutely smoke Kansas because I think Kansas.
So you're feeling like 40-10.
I think so because I think Kansas's defense was very much helped out by BYU last week.
Yeah.
BYU left.
It was 21. It was 21 points, dude.
I think it's 21, 24, could be 28. If you don't get hit in the helmet by that pooch punt, it's 28.
Yeah.
But you can't give him a touchdown, never had the ball. It's legitimately 21 and probably 28. But you throw the interception, you don't run the ball, you're behind the sticks.
You drop passes and you don't get what everyone loves to call yak yards.
And your DBs who have picked balls off like it's their job all year long couldn't catch a football last week. I just think Shedeur. I was watching a Shedeur highlight tape of him in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys understand? He just looks like a completely different football player.
Yeah, he's matured.
It's incredible how well he is playing right now. I think it is 38-10, 38-13.
Yeah, I don't think they score 40 in this game only because Kansas's offense is a little more capable than Utah's. So Kansas is going to possess it a little longer.
Yeah.
So, but I would say, yeah, like high 30s for Colorado.
And I think Kansas's secondary is not as good as everybody paints them to be.
Well, and you look worse against a guy like Shedeur.
And you look worse when you sit there and say you can't wait to cover
You're
Travis
an idiot,
Hunter.
dude. I can't remember the kid's name.
Dummy.
Their best cornerback at Kansas talking about how you can't wait to cover a Heisman candidate. You're silly, dude.
Yeah. You know what, Mayor McCluskey? I think that's true.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
You didn't lose to Kansas because their defense is incredible. That was on BYU. So when I look at the Colorado-Kansas game, I'm just sitting here saying, man, Kansas or Colorado can put up 40 on pretty much anybody, but I feel like Kansas will possess it long enough to keep them from 40.
Ronnie Southern gives 5.
Appreciate you.
David, did I read this one? David Persons, I apologize. $2. Does that mean Gundy and OSU will be reallocated? You hope so. You hope so. All right, friends. That's it. I will see you a week from Tuesday. That is the next show that we will do. I am jetting off to Aloha Land. And I wanted to take 3 minutes here to, in all seriousness, I really appreciate you. The things that you guys have done for this show, the investment that you make emotionally every day in being here on this show, nobody here takes that for granted. Our entire staff, our entire crew, everybody that works with us, we all appreciate you because without you guys, we couldn't do this. And in the week as we lead up to Thanksgiving, I just want you to know I'm thankful that you guys are here.
And the things that you do are allowing us to do things behind the scenes that will come to fruition.
Yes. And
soon.
When we build new studios and you guys make that possible.
Yes.
And it is guys like Calford giving memberships or Mayor McCluskey or Tanner Plummer or Mike Smith, Brandon Butler, all the long times, the Lopes Van Gabe, the Giggities, everybody who's been here, everybody that's new to the show, that you guys are here and you cultivate a conversation and that we get passionate and we argue and you guys make everything that we do possible. So I'm thankful you're here. Please hit the like button on the way out the door. If you have not subscribed to us on YouTube, please consider hitting the subscribe button. If you're looking for a podcast, find us on Spotify.
We will have best ofs, and there will be some tokens from back in the day in the best ofs that you will not want to miss.
We've been reviewing old footage of our show. Oh, my God.
Things have come a long way, and I do think it's worth I was looking at, and we got to go, but I was looking at the interviews from Pac-12 Media Day back in the day.
Oh, my God.
So we've got those that are going to play. We've got some Big 12 stuff. Like, God, I'm working hard to make the best ofs as best we can make them. They will air at the same time the show is normally on.
Yes.
I will schedule them for 6 a.m. and they're probably going to be about 3 hours. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just appreciate everything that you guys do. And, everybody in the comment section, yes, of course, Cam Harrison. Dev MC, Mike Smith, Roche, Xavier Wolf. Hello.
Commissioner Gumby.
Commissioner Gumby. West Coast Commissioner Gumby. Yes. Loaner phone. No.
Stadium Guy James.
No.
IPF.
No. Oak State James, of course. All of you that are here, we appreciate every time you comment, every time you watch the show, you hit the like button. Makes a huge difference.
Watch the shorts.
Watch our shorts. You watch our content.
Appreciate you.
You make our videos trend. We appreciate you. 3 more likes to get to 100 for the show today.
Get it done on the way out.
I will see you. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok. I will be posting a ton of content from Hawaii.
Reaction to BYU.
I'll probably do a live something or other on Saturday to react to BYU in the Big 12. It's going to be fun. You guys are amazing. One last time before Thanksgiving. Next show's a week from Tuesday. Thank you to the advocates. Thank you to Prize Picks. Thank you to everybody who supports the show. A week from Tuesday. Until then, happy Thanksgiving. Say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.